Hi there, so I've been thinking what else I could do for you guys as my Patreons to make some cool, interesting videos, and I think most of you don't really know what I do as far as besides being an artist, right? A lot of my time goes into composing music for film and TV for music libraries. The library will send me a memo saying we are currently looking for drama tension, maybe even EDM, dance. Once I have the memo and I know what they're looking for, my next step is to figure out what styles I'm really good at. And I don't have to figure that out, I know it. But then, is that what they're looking for? If it's something that I totally don't do, then really focus on what I'm good at, which is electronica, drama tension, dance, indie rock. So once I have the memo, I'll listen to a few sample tracks. Usually they send a few sample tracks, and then of course I don't want to copy those, but I want to stick with that vibe. And that's how it starts. So let's not talk too much. I'm going to show you the process. And I'm not going to show you the process like from the very beginning till the very end, because you'll be here like for 2 hours. I'm just going to zoom in on a few things, you know, when I'm starting, showing you kind of what I'm going for. Let's do it. Okay, so here's an example of one song that I did. I'm going to play the full thing first. I'm going to explain a little bit about it, okay? Simplicity. So like subtle changes, they're very subtle. Little hook. I give it like a little breakdown so the editor has some options. Now I added something else to it, but again, very subtle. So, it's unlike songwriting, where there's like a verse, a chorus, maybe a pre-chorus, a bridge. This, we want to kind of stick with a theme and don't go too many different places, because then it just gets too crazy for the editor. So we want to keep it simple, and that's my experience. That's really worked for me. So the first part, I just started with a bang bang, da 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 da, down. You know, that's a little hook. Started out with just like a nice 14 seconds, 15 seconds, just like a little intro thing. Sometimes they want to go right in. That's why I left a little break here. So if they wanted to cut right into this, they could, because I left them room to do so. But this is kind of could be a cool intro, them getting into the car, you know, or like little transitions from one scene to another. And then I just started adding little things. Little break, bam, and now the drum loop comes in and like some percussion comes in. Like these drums here, they went up there in the beginning, and they just add to this, you know, and it sounds actually really stiff, like without the percussion, and the percussion kind of makes it move better. And so these kind of parts, these two synth parts here, it's like the bass, right? Bum bum, bum bum, bum bum, bum bum, and I add this to give it some little more effect to it. and it changes up halfway through, where you can tell like from the waves, right? That's like that little da 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 da. And then from there, it goes to the second part, where the bass just goes more fluid. Bum bum ba bum, bum bum ba bum bum, bum ba ba da dum, bum ba bum. So that's kind of like, it's like little subtle changes. And then the second time around, we're adding a little other synth that's not here. So anyway, so this gives you an idea. And the track altogether is only, I think only about 2 minutes long, yeah. Because that's all they need, you know, they need just a few different parts. For reality TV especially, it's so fast-paced. And so I want to keep it really simple for the editor, but also make it easy for the editor to have a few parts where it just really drops out, so they can easily cut. You know, you can see that in my mix down here, the file. That's the mix down, and there's like these little areas here. That's like basically, you know, it's a little stuff, so they could cut it easily. About providing background music that fits to the scene, the emotion that supports the dialogue. It doesn't distract it. Very important. Support, not distract. I'll play you another part, and the reason why I didn't put you through this entire process is basically, you know, the first thing is like I'm looking for some sounds that work. The feel I'm going for, again, for this one I was going more for like an electronic kind of feel, you know, slightly more upbeat. But now I'm going to show you like a slightly different one. Kind of boring to watch, but like, so I found this sound which I really like. I can mess with the resonance. Filter. I have different plugins that I use. I definitely have a go-to plugin that I use all the time, and then I add some new ones that I make sure I quantize it. It's not perfect the sound yet. I'm just going for the feel for now. Probably I'm looping it right now, I would repeat it probably and maybe add some percussion to it just to add something more to it. Again, for this kind of stuff, we don't want to go all over the place and have different parts. We want to kind of stick with the theme, but add little things, add and subtract, to add tension, to add intensity, drop things in or out, you know, do different sounds just to make it more interesting. So I'll be back in a little bit.